Uh-oh. Wheels are off. Brake drums are off. I'm down here a little bit early. Actually, I have to do a podcast recording tonight since I'm out of town soon. And had a little bit of spare time. So started digging in. I'm going to be pulling these wheel cylinders out. I do have replacements. They're not quite for the right application. I do hope they fit. I've already pulled the rear inner brake lines out. The right side came out okay. They are completely blocked. I do have some fluid residue on the inside, nothing on the back. The left side line, however, less cooperative. See if I can get this to focus here. Again, fluid in, no fluid out. The lines look like they're the right length, the replacements I got. Unfortunately, I did have to cut one of the hard lines, so I need to quick fab up one of those. I was able to cut the old one right at the edges, and I've bent up a new copper nickel one just by hand here. I'm gonna grab a couple fittings and do up this line real quick. Then we'll get that on the car, get the lines in, do those wheel cylinders, and see where we are then. So I was getting ready to take this wheel cylinder off. I'm like, oh, those look like 10 millimeters. Nope, they are in fact gigantic flat blade screws. Interesting. I couldn't figure out why the video looked so horrible. Turns out my phone was in slow-mo, so I missed a little bit. But anyway, I was able to grind in the notch on the old wheel cylinder and pull it out. I was able to find some bolts that fit in. Went ahead and pulled the bleeder out just to squeeze it in. And now just slapped it all back together, gonna bolt it in, grind off the extra if I need to, and yeah, we should be sitting solid. So there's a better look at what we're dealing with. I did kind of dislodge it a little bit, so it'll need more alignment before it's done, but the old line's just sort of chilling. Well, it was chilling out of the way until I screwed it up. Damn it, there we go. Old bleeder, wasn't too hard to break it, just old cast. I'm guessing that had never been off the car, so that's very likely 52 years old. And the new, all I have to do is rotate these little orifices so they're correct. And we just slap it on the car. I have been pulling the bleeder off. That seems to help quite a bit with extra clearance. So there we have it. Wheel cylinders are in on both sides. Yeah, lines are in, new rubber. The existing intermediates are okay. And the original T is okay. The old line is still in here because it's just too hard to remove. My new flared rear is in. I don't actually remember the state of those to see if they leak. Next up is actually going to be, I think, popping inside. I have to pull that little thing off the pedals and replace my clutch master, which is, I'm pretty sure it's bum, because I get no pressure at all out of the sleeve, and it just kind of goes straight to the floor. So I have a brand new one. I don't really want to deal with this, but since I'm on a roll, we may as well. Well, I'm noticing that the rod is a little shorter on the new one, but I guess we'll just adjust that when we get to it if we need to. I do have to refit this little fitting in the front thing there, but yeah, this one's definitely seized, so it's rebuildable, I'm sure, but that explains why I didn't have clutch. So I topped up the brake fluid reservoir. Time to go under and see if we can get some fluid out of it. Now we wait. So, the clutch actually feels great. I'm gonna have to leave the camera under the car, I think, and see if that's working. So I don't actually know. But anyway, yeah, the pedal feels wonderful. And the brake pedal feels good. Have to crack those rear bleeders too and see if we get any fluid out of them. I just very quickly cracked this one and I got fluid, which is an awesome, awesome sign. Oh, nice. That's fluid. Wow. I probably don't want to go too crazy without the brake drums on, but nice. Hey! Very cool. We're at the right rear now. Just gonna gravity bleed it right now because I don't have any friends to help me out today. Wait for it. Hoping this can see the clutch area. Clutch. Clutch. Brake. 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 I'm not sure, but we're getting closer. Well, I am pretty happy about that. Doesn't look like anything I made leaks either. This is all just dripping from the old clutch master cylinder. Yeah, it looks like there's no issue using a hydraulic cylinder on this old trans. Hopefully it fully disengages. I think there's probably a little more bleeding I could do. If not, one of the next things I have to do is throttle linkage. And I believe pulling down is more throttle. So I'm gonna use a generic throttle cable set and sort of mount it to the pedal box somehow, ideally. And get that up to the throttle body, but I can get the engine running before that. So I think fuel lines are actually in place for the most part. If I jumper the fuel pump with power, we should be able to get the ECU to come to life. I do have to figure out what the hell to do with this speedometer cable. Probably not going to be using a mechanical speedometer. But either way, yeah, this thing, I've completely lost motivation for so long just because both the brakes and the clutch didn't work. And last time I came down and actually worked on the brakes, you know, I bent up all those lines, and I found that the rears didn't work at all, which was less than cool. I actually just saw a drip. Wipe all this crap off just to make sure that we're good. But I stood on the brakes after I pumped them a bunch, and no dribbles. So fingers crossed. We'll see how that Mega Squirt 3 goes. As long as I didn't mess up any of the wiring, we should be on track to get this thing running by spring. And then, you know, the final tidy up, getting all the fuel pump wires through it, getting the new fuse block in there, relays, everything. That's gonna take a long time. Ooh, excuse me. But running in driving state really shouldn't be that tough. This is exciting. I was looking at my Facebook memories from like 2 years ago, and it was the engine bay on this, and it looked way less cool because I hadn't powder coated anything, no E30 manifolds, but I've had this car a long time, so it's time.